I'm going to show you the fourth game of 2018 WCS Leipzig finals. The game was played where Showtime Protoss player was against Serral Starcraft player. So what is 2018 WCS Leipzig? It's a tournament, it's part of a grander circuit of tournaments. It's the first tournament out of 4 to qualify for the final primal 2018 StarCraft World Championship prize. And as you can see, Leipzig already pays a hefty $20,000 a prize and WCS global final seed. So the winner moves on and is one of the global, not including Korea, side players that will qualify to play for the ultimate StarCraft 2 World Championship Series tournament cup and prize. Here you can see the results of Leipzig tournament. Notable participants and the group stages and group stage results right here. And the brackets. I'm showing you the last final match right here. Zerg versus Protoss. You can take a look at the exact wins right here. And here I'm going to show you some distribution statistics. You can have a closer look by stopping the video and making sure you remember everything. So Leipzig is a tournament that gives a seed, so a place into StarCraft World Championship Series. So that's the main event that combines all the other events out there. That means winning a cup is not everything out there. You can further see all those events that make up StarCraft 2 World Championship Series. Korea and the world separated. Korea has its own events and the world itself has other events. Furthermore, it is much more detailed in this picture right here. 2018 total pricing $2 million, and global finals take up 500,000, and this is further separated into Korea Circuit Global, GSL versus the world. So they have these leagues here. And these leagues will make up additional players on the Korean side. So the best of the best versus the best of the best, as we know. You can watch the castings on AndYouLeftTheGame YouTube channel. You can find that channel by typing AndYouLeftTheGame into a YouTube search bar, and you'll come up with 2 channels or one of these. You can click on the main channel without a blank space if the Google search gives you that option. It will take you here and you'll be able to go to playlists and find the game you want to watch or the casting you want to watch. Otherwise, you can choose AndYouLeftTheGame with a blank space. It may sometimes show up in the search engines instead of AndYouLeftTheGame without blank space, and then just if you want to go to the castings, click on featured channels right here. It will take you there in a matter of seconds, and go to playlists where you'll find whatever you want to watch out there. Now that we know about the tournament, how the tournament is incorporated in the grand scheme of things, let's go and look at the players themselves. So the first player is the Protoss player. It goes by the nickname of Showtime. Showtime is a professional StarCraft 2 Protoss player who managed to win over $180,000 up to this day. He currently is second with the 1580 points. However, this isn't the final place, because only and only this tournament has been played out of many tournaments out there. Other tournaments will surely kick in a bit later on, and at around mid-year. And here you can see him, that's his pictures right here. The next player is Serral. He is from Finland. He plays as Zerg. He currently won this tournament and has a WCS circle rank of 3,140 points. Total earnings reach 132,000 in total. You can read around his story here. He dates back to as far as 2012, April 25th, where he was interviewed at 2013 DreamHack Open Stockholm. Here you can see his achievements in detail, where he won money prizes, many tournaments, and here's him himself, Serral himself. Let's go to the betting odds. Here we'll find out what the professional analysts think about this match and who will become the champion. 1.67 goes for Serral and 2.23 goes for Showtime. It seems that the bookies were not wrong. Showtime, unfortunately, has lost, and Serral, fortunately, has won with a whooping 67% profit for anybody that has been betting on Serral. And furthermore, that's Serral versus Showtime right here, grand finals, best of 7. And let's move on to the match. We'll be watching the match from Showtime's player perspective. First of all, Serral tends to queue up all the bases he will take. So he's going to take 3 bases in the bottom map, so the bottom to the east, and 2 bases just north of the 3 bottom ones. So in total he queued up 6 bases, and he plans to successfully expand into these. So far we know that the players played extremely economy focused games where none of them engaged each other for a very long time, and this has proved to be disastrous for Showtime, because he wasn't unable in the first 2 games to control his 5th base, ran out of an ability to gather resources fast enough, and GG'd out. And furthermore, later he and Serral pushed the game to the limit, where most of the bases were mined out. However, Showtime during the entire game was on the defensive, was spacing Serral's force that was just unstoppable. Serral had approximately 20 or even more spore crawlers. He spread creep all over the map, close to the bottom bases of the map, from the south, right, east base, so the bottom right base, to the bottom right base, to the top right base. So as you can see here on the map, Serral in the previous match managed to spread creep from the bottom to the top 6-7 bases out there in that map, and he managed to place massive number of spore crawlers against the Protoss fleet there. Furthermore, heavily relied on Ultralisks, infestors that were consistently taking over the fleet, such as fleet units such as Void Rays. Now in here we see a very regular opening coming for the last 2.5 minutes, and only one of that is being built to fight off any kind of link pairs that would be coming over. So far, the Protoss player decides not to cheese, and he's scouting around. He sees that Zerg player has 3 bases, and it may as well mean that the Protoss will effectively try to move on to their commie play. Now he builds himself a Oracle, and look at that. It looks like some of these Zerglings were capable of passing through into Protoss base, and I suspect that this gave very valuable information to the Zerg player. Valuable because the Protoss has almost no units whatsoever, and guess what's happening? It looks like finally cheese is on its way. Zerg will build large number of Zerglings and will try to get into Protoss base. As you can see, he will try to get through and attack the second base. The drop is incoming. As you can see, the drop is being stopped by 2 airplanes. The Protoss player has successfully spotted the incoming drop here. So it seems that this Oracle and Phoenix, instead of being an aggressive units, have become very defensive units, and that Cybernetic Ore is about to go down. However, Protoss is quick enough to react and build himself an additional pylon that will successfully wall off any incoming attack by the Lynx, and it looks like we're moving on from a very economy focused game to an early aggression. It looks like we're going to see early game units such as large number of roaches, banelings, large number of zerglings, and large number of adepts from Protoss side, zealots, stalkers. Units such as stalkers we haven't seen much, only in the previous last game where stalkers were built after the fleet has died, so it looks like Showtime would rely on building his fleet as a priority, but this time it could be that we'll see a regular league game where stalkers are as important as any other unit for the Protoss. In any case, this run by here was a outstanding success. As you can see, oracles are absolutely devastating against the probes, and this is where Showtime decides to move out. Now there are many Zerglings there, as you can see. They're patrolling, and at any point in time they're going to engage. They're not engaging, and no Banelings were being built. Banelings would be absolutely incredibly devastating for those adepts, stalkers and zealots here, because they're very few in number, and they can't really get away from the Banelings because they do not skirmish that much. Obviously adepts can skirmish, but they're just not enough, and the Zerg would be able to build many of these. Now, just as previous games, the Zerg is denying Protoss an ability to build himself an additional Nexus and gain those additional resources that the Zerg player needs so much. But the attack isn't constant enough, and it looks like the Zerg will be pushed back. He's not attacking. The Zerg is not attacking, and the Protoss decided to move out. This is one of the few times where Showtime during this final match series is moving out into opponent's base. He never moved out so early before. However, he's here. He is going to fight, and it looks like Zealots, Adepts, and Stalkers supported by Archons and Phoenix are fighting at the base, at the second base, and it looks like the Zerg had absolutely no problem dealing against this aggression with 4 queens and endless supply of Zergling reinforcements. The first Storm High Templar Storm unit is incoming, and I would suspect that he's going to kill off those Lings with a relative ease. Now let's take a look at this fight here, and it seems that no, there are no storms available. He simply created himself an Archon that didn't work out that well, and all those zealots are going to die. It seems that this base is lost. That was a queen drop, you see. All those queens are being brought into an overlord. An overlord can bring those very super slow, very tanky queens with its overlord speed very quickly. Now more Archons are being created, but as you can see, they have been ambushed. They can create with their full health, and they will undoubtedly be wiped out very quickly. In here, this attack has been pushed back. I think that it was pushed back a little too early, but that's probably due to the fact that the third base just wasn't destroyed. It looks like the Zerg needed to wait a little bit to make sure that that base was destroyed. However, that didn't happen, and successfully the Zerg came back and destroyed it. So as you can see, we see the fights in much lower quantities, where unit abilities mean a lot, their speed means a lot, and large numbers of Zerglings are easily denied by storms. Now as you can see here, Showtime wasn't even noticing that well that there was a drop into his main base. If only that drop would have been more devastating, there would have been hardly anything that could stop Serral from taking out all those harvesters in the main. In any case, the main is built up very effectively there, and there are choke points created so that those Zerglings wouldn't be able to get to the workers quickly. So just when Showtime saw them, he suddenly warped in additional zealots that would block the way into the mineral line there, and then this Zergling push turned out to be a disaster. And furthermore, it looks like once again Showtime will be moving out and will be trying to take a base or two from the Zerg player. As you can see, Zerg player wasn't expanding in the top right corner. He's going to expand in the middle. That's probably due to the fact that he wants his units much closer, his harvester is much closer to other three bases, and that just gives him the timing necessary to reinforce that middle base. Obviously at the same time that gives the Protoss player an opportunity to attack it much quicker. In any case, it looks like this Oracle sees a lot of roach units, and these roach units are going to be easy pickings for Immortal push, and it seems that Protoss is moving on towards Immortal play here. As you can see, an Immortal is consistently being made. More probes are made too. And there was a drop here, but it looks like only 3 zealots who pretty much got ambushed there. So Serral is one of those players that will certainly like to keep his Hydralisks in his bases to fight off these kind of a relatively weak but devastating if successful drops of a few units that could otherwise be just tearing through, just like Archons would otherwise tear through any kind of a weak defenses. And it looks like at this point in time the Protoss is running 4 bases. It's soon clear if Zerg has 5th base ready. Immortal count is rising together as Archon and High Templar, so those roaches won't stand a chance against this kind of a force. In any case, we finally meet some more resistance. As you can see, the units are sent on patrol all over the map here, all kinds of to spot a way to learn more about what's happening here. And so far so quiet on the western front here. More immortals have been built, and it looks like Serral's force has been spotted. It's being split in two, and all those immortals won't have a problem dealing with the split out army. And look at that, it looks like there's so many lurkers there. There's hardly anything that can be done. However, massive number of storms supported by incredibly large number of immortals have teared through all those lurkers, and now Protoss player is on the offensive. It looks like Protoss player is going to stay on the offensive and push on into the mid base out here. He's going to try and give himself a shortcut by getting rid of those rocks, unites with additional forces, warps in more High Templar who will become Archons. It looks like there was a nice run by here, but that Oracle is certainly going to get rid of them. However, the probes are going to fight it too. Without the storms, these immortals are not going to cut it, and Archons came in to reinforce. The storms are going to control the battlefield here, and it looks like these Hydralisks just don't have enough health after all those storms that they have suffered. There were no lurkers whatsoever, and it looks like it's all over. As you have already noticed, that was just absolutely devastating for the Zerg player, and will be moving on to the next match with a result of 3-1. 3 wins for Serral and 1 win for Showtime. This means Showtime is still in the game.